Yeah, well, that's one thing our smokehouse has seen better days. We had to repair it, and it's kind of one of those things before moose season. You're always trying to get as many chores as you can done, because you're pretty much hunting as much as possible, whenever possible. And the snow crushed in the roof, so I had to get a few extra nails in here. And that certainly will help. I think this is going to be a good repair, and hopefully we're going to have moose hanging in here pretty soon. One of the things I love about early season moose hunting is that it gives you a chance to get out with your family. And we got this awesome canvas tent, and I tell you, it was one of the best investments we've ever got, because it just allows us to do so much together. And really, I think that's what hunting's all about, really, at its essence anyway. It's about family. Setting up for moose season, it's always kind of exciting too, because the whole season's in front of you, and you never know what you're going to end up with when it's all said and done, and what kind of experience you're going to have. But it sure is exciting, no matter how old you are.
All done.
And then they go, all done.
What?
What?
This.
Oh.
But
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Daddy.
Make me?
Yeah.
Oh. 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 Oh, that's a crazy moose. Yeah. We spent a lot of time getting ready for this moment, but it's exciting to see a new season come, and finally moose season's here, and you have all this anticipation. You're here, and you get a chance to call. And I was thinking about it today on the boat ride. It's amazing, all the memories that you begin to make and compile over time. And I'm hoping today works out, and we learn something new or see something different. But Alaska always has so much potential to see something you've never seen before, and it never ceases to amaze me how often that happens. Got up this morning and we're checking out some different lakes, and mainly listening. And if we can't get to the bull in the morning, if we hear one, we try to get there in the afternoon. But I just love the stillness, that's for sure. It's probably my favorite time to hunt. monster. You filming it? I usually don't get overly excited, but we heard this bull and he wasn't doing anything, so we switched the side of the leg and he's just staring. He's just standing right over there. I mean, that's a monster bull. And the problem is he ain't dumb. But he's really far. I think he's probably about 700 yards away, but we'll see how it goes. Ugh. Ugh. Just stay still. We were really lucky because those cows eventually would drift our way, and slowly he was coming our way because he wasn't coming to any of our calls. We had tried over several periods, and he would rake some and walk a few feet, but he was really stuck on those cows, and we were really lucky that he was moving our way. He would just kind of hold up, and he would get closer and closer, and you know, honestly, it seemed like the light, you know, was gonna fade, and we weren't gonna get him. Just stay still. He's coming slowly. Hey, he's moving right now. Hey, he's moving.
That hit him. Clean hit.
Stay on him.
Clean hit. David, one's flashing on this thing. 0.
Okay. Hurry up and here.
Am I good?
Dude, we heard this bull probably like 3 hours ago, and we've just been sitting here, and he was with a bunch of cows, and man, he was just standing there. We had cows that came almost all the way up to us, almost busted us, and my leg is like permanently, I think, marred because it's so sound asleep. I can't feel it. We've been waiting here so long, but dude, I think we made a good shot. Man, it's crazy. It doesn't matter how many times you do it. It still never gets old. As I've gotten older, I guess I've realized one important thing, and that's that hunting really isn't about collecting trophies as much as it is about collecting, you know, memories and experiences. Because these are the things that we bring back to our families, and, you know, I tell my son before he goes to bed, you know, these are moments that are kind of captured in time. You know, you can remember the way that when that bull came in, you can remember the way that the leaves fell, and the way the air smelled, and the way that, you know, the sun looked before it, you know, before night fell. And that's, to me, is one of the most powerful things about hunting in general. It's just the experience. You know, it almost marks a certain period in time, and you will always remember it. And that, to me, is really the most important thing, you know, out of it all, is that it's this experience and this reflection that's so powerful to me over time.
Dave and I usually work really hard this time of year, and we were really lucky earlier in the first week of the season. Dave was able to get meat for his family for the entire year, and thankfully, being the friend he is, Dave let me get out from behind the camera and was going to give me an opportunity this time, and drove about 200, 300 miles by boat, and we were really lucky this morning. We walked up on a lake, and we had this big bull out there with all these cows, and I thought I was going to take the shot, and just right before the end, he got near the woods, and I just kind of hesitated and thought it might be a little too far. So we're going to keep going and hopefully find something later this afternoon. We came up on this grass lake, and there was 4 or 5 cows in it, and then we heard this loud crash in the woods, and since that crash, this huge bull walked out, and probably for the last 30 or 40 minutes we've been watching him kind of speak love notes, if you will, to this cow, and he's tried to mount her 3 or 4 times, and she keeps playing hard to get, it looks like. But in all serious, this is one of the neatest things I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of like a duo we're watching. He keeps approaching her and she'll slide away, and you know, he's a determined sucker, though. He's not giving up quite yet.
It was an amazing experience watching that bull all afternoon. And there was a moment where he was working his way across that lake really slowly. We would call, and he would rake the brush, and he'd move a little bit, and we'd call, and he'd walk forward, and he'd rake the brush, and we'd call, and he slowly made his way around the lake. And I know Jason and I were really excited because we thought that was going to be, you know, our opportunity to get really close to that bull, but he just wouldn't leave that water's edge, and he kept staying on that one side of the lake. And I know both of us we really wanted him badly, but there's only so much you can do.
Just for some reason we can't get him to get close enough, and we want him to come all the way across this lake, but he won't come on the other side of the water. Every time he starts coming this way, his cows kind of drift off into the woods, and then he goes back. And it seems like he's a little more interested in trying to mate right now than battle with another bull. I think he's kind of waiting for us to come out of the woods, and he won't quite come far enough away. He don't want to. Oh. Holy cow! He's chasing her now. Got out here this morning and we started raking, and almost immediately we heard something pretty far off, and about 20 minutes later this great big bull steps out into the field. We've been watching him kind of assert his dominance over this entire field. A smaller bull kind of stepped out and he's chased him back into the woods 3 or 4 times.
So he's pretty wound up right now, but we just can't seem to get close enough to get him. And we don't want to take a far shot with the water and kind of get in a tough situation with that, so we'll see what happens. I don't think I've chased anything for this long in my life. Not a job, not a career, not a woman. And he's definitely got the best of us. It's near the end of the season, and this will be my last probably 30 minutes to hunt this year. So I think he just wasn't ready to give himself up today.